So you want to become an entrepreneur, right? My name is Paul and I'm a money and wealth coach. And I put together these series of videos for those who are looking to start their own business and looking for, some guidance into what are the next steps, where do I go from here? Or maybe you are already have a business and you're just looking to tweak your systems. So I created this series of short videos just to help you get it up and running. So just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I've been in sales and marketing for over 30 years now. Even as a child, I started with my paper route, selling newspaper subscriptions. I saved up money through school trips, doing selling oranges and grapefruits from door to door, and then I worked for selling circus tickets for a police association and telephone marketing, and then getting into financial services. This is currently my fifth business I've got up and running in the financial services. Was six figures within 2 years, and I've learned a lot over the years on skills with sales and marketing, and I want to share what I've learned with you and just go through a step-by-step process to give you a clear idea of what's next. So, and also the last couple of years, I purchased a business club. And I had the opportunity to work with a lot of local, entrepreneurs, business owners, and share best practices. I also run a Wednesday morning 1 hour show too, where we have a discussion with business owners, entrepreneurs on business life and mindset, and share some best practices with that. So first of all, you made the decision that you want to start your own business. You want to become successful. So congratulations on that. You're taking the first steps to learning, take the first steps of creating your own business, which can be a very rewarding yet challenging endeavor. So now the first thing is, do you go all in, right? Do you give up what you have? I mean, it really depends on your situation. If you have a spouse that's paying the bills, or you're living with your parents, I mean, that's going to make things a little bit easier. But if you're on your own and maybe you have a side, a part-time job or what have you, then I mean, it's different for everyone. Being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. You do have to have a mental fortitude and resilience. Often those who compete in sports, who have that hunger, that desire, this can be a good fit for. But you do have to have a strong reason why, your raison d'être of why you're doing this, why you want to become an entrepreneur. Because there is, you are going to fail. There's going to be some tough times. You're going to receive a lot of no's, a lot of rejection, and ultimately 80% of people do not survive starting their own business. There's about 50% that don't survive the first year, and then only 20% that are still going by year 5. So, but the important thing is that making mistakes is important. It helps you develop that mental fortitude and that strength that you need to become successful. And sometimes that can be failure can be something that success in disguise, and because it does take a lot of failure before you can achieve success. So it's important to and that's why mindset is probably the most important thing to becoming an entrepreneur, is just keeping things in perspective, understanding gratitude and having that mental fortitude in order to become successful. So my hope is that you are that 20% of those that are going to be successful, and you just want to take the next steps to achieve that great success. So the first thing I do want to do is talk to you a bit of a reality check, because, it's important to have a product or service that does add value. Just because you're passionate about something, you love it, it provides you with a lot of fulfillment, does not necessarily mean it's a good idea. Okay, so you have to have a product or service that can be marketed, that people are going to be paying their hard-earned money for from you. So all you have to do is watch a couple episodes of Shark Tank or Dragon's Den to listen to Mr. Wonderful or Mark Cuban there. When someone comes up with an idea that maybe not be something that can be marketed or that does not have a demand, they can provide you with a lot of ideas towards that. So also recommend speaking to 2 or 3 people that are in your industry to maybe get some feedback bounce some ideas off of, maybe share some maybe they have some advice for you, or maybe you can steal some ideas from them. People are always happy to talk about their own business or their own ideas. So talk to a couple of people just to make sure you have a solid idea, a solid foundation in order to proceed. So really that is your what. So on that topic, on the what of your business, the next step is to work on your mission and your vision statement. All right. So your mission is going to defining what your goals are, what your objectives are for your business, what your purpose is, what your customer needs are, your values, and also describes on ultimately how you're going to get there to achieve that. Then you're also going to do your vision statement. Your vision is more your long-term. This is your 5, 10, 20-year goal of what you ultimately where you want your business to be in 20 years from now, right? So it's taking that big picture view of things. Maybe you want to create $1 million business, and that's what I want to to help you create is that $1 million business that's going to allow you to achieve your dreams in life and achieve that financial freedom for you and your family. So getting back to your product or service, you want a product or service that adds value, that, are you improving someone's lifestyle? Are you helping them become healthier? Are you, making life easier? Maybe providing technology that allows people to be more productive? Are you helping people, are you a coach? You're helping people to, to work on their own personal relationships or their own business. And, so you definitely have to have something that is going to add value to other people, and that you can something that you can also market. And really what it comes down to is building relationships. So you have to be very good at building relationships with people. Ultimately, anyone who wants to become an entrepreneur, business owner, does have to be, there is a sales aspect to that. So you have to, and that's one thing that I'm going to be talking into these, the videos, is how to build those relationships in order to find those clients and customers for life. So after you establish your what, the next thing is your why, right? So why are people going to pay their hard-earned money for your product or service? And this comes down to what I call your KLT factor, your know, like, and trust. Because first of all, people don't know who you are, then how are they going to buy your product or service, right? So you have to get out there, like either go door to door, get on social media, put on some seminars, whatever. You got to have that something that's going to help you get out there, so people are going to know who you are. The next thing is the trust factor, right? So how are you going to establish your credibility in that given field? So traditionally it's been getting a degree in one area, but there's a lot of very successful entrepreneurs, business owners like Henry Ford, Dale Carnegie, J.D. Rockefeller, that a lot of them dropped out of high school or have a basic education. It's really, there's a lot more to becoming successful than your education. So but you do have to have the credibility, right? So whether that is putting on some seminars, putting on, sharing a podcast or a video cast, doing, some trade shows where you're sharing your product or service, whatever that, you have to be able to establish that credibility. Sometimes people get celebrity endorsements or other people in the field, or even working, maybe you have some colleagues in a related field that you can work with to get some endorsements from them. So it's important to establish that trust. And of course they have to like you, right? They you have to create a brand. You have to be a likable person that people trust, that they trust and they know who you are. So it's about how you brand yourself, how you position yourself, that people are going to like to do business with you. All right, so the like, know, and trust. Lastly, and this is probably the most important, is tuning into the YFM, so WIIFM. What's in it for me? And this is so critical because you got to see your product or services through your customer's eye. Okay, so you got to understand what your ideal client is looking for, what's going to motivate them, what's there going to be that hot button for them to motivate them to spend their hard-earned money to buy your product or your service. And it's so important to examine these. Put together your business plan. These are all things that can go into your business plan to identify ideally who your target market is, what your mission, what your vision statement is, And because if you don't plan, you are planning to fail. It's so important to plan your business and come up with some financial some goals that you have in mind that that you can aim for in success. The last thing is, what is your why? Okay, so this is your own personal why. Why are you going to be spending 10 to 12 hours a day, or your blood, sweat, and tears each day to get your product and service up and running, your business up and running? Because especially in your first year, it is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. In my three of my financial service businesses, I was out there door knocking, cold calling. I was doing seminars, trade shows, you name it. I mean, it's you got to get out there. Now, you don't see as much door knocking in today's world, but even reaching out to people through social media, Facebook, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great opportunity as well, right? So you got to utilize those. You got to be able to put yourself out there, right? So if you want to create your own business, you got to be prepared to put yourself out there. The other thing is you can also, as you're identifying what you're strong in, so whether it be sales and marketing, then maybe you want to find, and you're maybe not strong in the numbers game. Well, maybe you want to find a bookkeeper or someone who who knows their numbers. On the other hand, if you're someone who loves numbers and is comfortable with that, but not so comfortable on the sales and marketing side, well, then maybe you want to partner with someone who is strong on the sales and marketing. That maybe they're an influencer, they're an MLM, someone who does who's really heavy on social media, has a big following. Those person that gets like the 50 to 100 likes every time they post something. That's probably a good person you want to partner with, or maybe even see if they would be willing to endorse your service or your product. So that, I think, is to give you a good start on where to go next in your business. If you found that this was valuable and you want to take those next steps, I have put together a course that goes through these in very detail. We have a template. You can put your business plan together. You can put your 20-year goal. You put those numbers in, and we can take you from soup to nuts in order to create your $1 million business. So my name is Paul with Business Club. Own your truth, live your dream.